revoir, welcome to today's vlog. I hope you are very well. I am well, thank you for asking. We are 17 and a half weeks out as of today. Had a new low weigh-in of 83 kilograms, which is sick, feel a lot leaner, and yeah, just generally happy about how things are going right now. We're gonna actually get into a different subject right now, which is basically going to be digestion, which I think is very important, not only in prep, but also in an off season. You got to think, if you have poor digestion, obviously, yeah, you're not going to be maximizing your food at all. Now, I think most people assume poor digestion is like off season, because essentially just because of the amount of food that you're actually eating. However, you got to think, in a fat loss phase, you're probably eating the same amount in terms of like actual food in the gut. However, the thing that's obviously is reduced is obviously the caloric intake, but your gut, stomach, etc. has to work equally as hard, not exactly equally as hard, but similarly as hard, to try and digest food. So it's very important to fix digestion, or to know how to fix digestion, in order to maximize your progress. And again, that's fat loss phase or massing phase. They're not one or the other. This is to fix digestion indefinitely. So there's three main things that cause poor digestion. One of them is going to be high stress. So if you are extremely high stressed, understand your digestion is probably going to go to shit. So learning how to handle stress, things like journaling, things like going out for walks, things like getting in your vitamin D, etc., are going to be invaluable for improving your digestion. And it's arguably why coffee or things like caffeine you want to go to the toilet all the time, or as soon as you sip it, you want to go to the toilet. It's essentially increasing your heart rate. So we want to do the opposite. And obviously, low stress means a lower resting heart rate. High stress is a higher resting heart rate. So yeah, nail stress management, and you're probably going to fix a lot of your digestive issues straight away. Also, poor food composition choices. So this comes from a place of almost copying someone else's meal plan. So you see someone on doing a full day of eating, like you might see some of my stuff and go, right, okay, let's imitate it, but your digestion is just absolutely whacked. So you're just gonna have to find what works for you at an individual level, like I have, and then basically from there, add and remove when necessary. But yeah, very important to know what you can and can't digest very well. Like a good example for me, like I can digest potato pretty well. Like for some of my clients, actually I'd say the majority of my clients just can't handle potato very well, and also things like oats, bagels and stuff like that. So yeah, you have to look at digestion as an individual, much like you do with your training, with your sleep management, etc. It's all individual. And also a big one is going to be a lack of hydration. I think that most people, I'd say that like 99% of the world's population just do not drink enough fucking fluids. And when you have no fluid in the stomach, it's just very hard to digest food. So you end up gastric emptying pretty regularly due to lack of hydration. So how can we fix digestion? A mixture of food quality that you can digest. Make sure you're fucking hydrated, that goes without saying. Routine feeding is also a big one that's heavily slept on. Like if you're trying to get 4, 5, 6K in 3 meals, like space it out, you dickhead. Kind of what to look for in terms of good digestion is obviously look at your number 2. Like if you're pissing shit, like it's not good. Make sure you're prioritizing dietary fiber. That's kind of a big one. It's how we create bulk within your stool. So nail that. Nailing stress is an obvious one. And last but not least is looking at prebiotic foods. So things like onions, apple, garlic, barley, oats, all prebiotic foods. Also things like tempeh, olives, etc. Are also prebiotic foods. And if you consume 1 to 4 of them per week, yeah, you'll be pretty straight. So yeah, nailing digestion is fairly easy, especially when you nail all them variables there, but it's an absolute game changer in terms of maximizing your training, maximizing your recovery, because you got to think, if you have poor digestion, your recovery is going to be shit, your training is going to be shit. So basically, if you fix your digestion, your training is going to be great, your recovery is going to be awesome, and then thus comes increased chances of retaining muscle on the way down from a fat loss phase and gaining muscle in terms of an off season. So do that. Anyway, time for meal one. Hope you well. I'll speak to you very soon. That was the info vlog. Then you'll have a formal update as of Monday. So yeah, I hope you well, and I'll speak to you very soon.